without further ado, let's dive into this one. Everybody's the Gringo Scott here, and today we are reviewing the 2017 movie, documentary called Icarus. It's on Netflix and it's done really well there. Originally heard of this from Joe Rogan, the guy Brian Fogel, I believe is his name. He was on Joe Rogan. He's promoting a new documentary. This is the one that got him super popular back in the day. This is day 30 of 30, my 30-day challenge, guys. If you want to see the other videos in this list, I'll put a playlist at the end of this video so you can check them out. Without further ado, guys, let's dive into this one, 2017 Icarus documentary. Let's see if it's worth watching. Of the documentary or movie, this is from the internet. When filmmaker Brian Fogel sets out to uncover the truth about doping in sports, a chance meeting with a Russian scientist transforms his story from a personal experiment into a geographical thriller. Dun dun dun! Dirty urine, unexplained death, and Olympic gold are all part of the exposure of the biggest scandal in sports history. So what happened, guys, is Brian Fogel wanted to do a documentary. He said, okay, I'm like not a pro bike rider, but I'm a pretty serious bike rider. I want to do a kind of supersize me thing with the McDonald's where I like eat for super horrible for 90 days, see how it affects me. Well, this one was, I want to run this race that's kind of like a Tour de France without any steroids or drugs, growth, performance enhancing drugs. And then the next year I want to dope up crazy. But I also I need to be in contact with people who tell me how I can dope up properly, how I can pass the tests that they're going to have, all those things. He ends up going with an American guy who works at a lab, and the American guy says, you know what, this is getting kind of weird trying to tell you how to cheat the system. I don't want to do anymore, but there's a guy in Russia. He'll help you out. He's morally questionable. Yes, he'll help you out. So he ends up working with this guy, and it causes this huge scandal. So that's the basic summary of this documentary. This one's pretty obvious to me. It's the Grigory Rodchenkov. He was the Russian guy, doctor or scientist that does the doping stuff. He is a director of a laboratory that tests for steroid use in the Olympic stuff in Russia. And yeah, this whole thing in a way definitely comes to this deeper meaning. It goes with the cocky, lazy, stupid, dead. He was cocky. He thought he could go and talk about how to cheat the system and stuff and things like that, and there might not be repercussions. It certainly didn't help him. So in a way, he kind of blew up his own top. It's definitely I would think that's it. Don't get too cocky, even though we probably shouldn't cheat either. But that's kind of deeper meaning in this one. Opinion of this movie, the bad. The style in which this documentary is filmed is a bit frustrating because it makes it all drama-like, which is fine, but it's really detailed information, and they never once have your standard narrator explain what's going on. So there were times where I was like, so what's going on? How is this working? I don't get it. Who did what? How is that cheating? Blah, 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 blah. And there's no over-narrator explaining things. So I would have liked that more instead of dramatization, which takes me to my next point. There were times where I felt like it was fake. Like supposedly Grigory, the Russian guy that got busted, he is on the phone receiving phone calls and no, they're coming for me or whatever. And it seems like, is that phone call or did you reshoot it? Because that's kind of lame. I don't like your fake. I don't know. I didn't care for that as much. So this dramatization, I just think we get enough fake set up stuff. I know they're trying to recapture it and stuff, but I just didn't like that much. It was kind of a turn off. The good. It is really crazy to think that one guy doing a documentary about steroid use could blow up literally the world like this, as far as like literally change things and rock the world of sports and Olympics and all those things, and literally cause a country to not be in the Olympics for now. I mean, that is just wild. It just shows you the power, the speak the power thing that one can have if you have a strong enough voice. So that's really cool. I really support the overall theme of the story and investigating it and stuff, and I definitely think you should check out the video. But I don't think if I were just watching it without reviewing it, I wouldn't have finished. I would have watched it enough, maybe about an hour, once it got exciting. I'm like, okay, I get it. There's just really nothing that's that great. It just kind of drags and it's like, blah. So in summary, I did enjoy the documentary for sure. It was a massive reveal. However, it could have been done in an hour instead of as long as it really was. It was really long. I didn't like the reenactment things. I just feel like it's fake. quit trying, but they don't say it's a reenactment. They used to say reenactment in the show. No, now they're just acting like it's real, and I'm like, that's suspicious. And like I said, you guys should watch it for the big reveal and to find out what's going on, understand what's happening in our world, but it's not too terribly great of a movie. I'm sorry. Documentary could have been better for sure. It's just too long. I feel like a lot of documentaries have that issue. They suffer from going on and on and on. It's like, hey, get to the point. I believe you. So guys, before I give my overall opinion of this movie on a scale of 1 to 10, please remember to like, subscribe, and leave comments what you think about this movie, or even just the steroid sports enhancing drug scandal in general. But without further ado, I give Icarus, on a scale of 1 to 10, a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10.
Hey, yeah, boy.